This is Ken Pyle, and we're here at the IMN Data Center Conference, and we're with Hunter Newby of Allied Fiber. They've got a really unique model. Hunter, why don't you take us through what you guys are doing?
So thanks for having me on the show here. So Allied Fiber is building a physical layer network neutral superstructure around the United States, essentially a ring that connects the submarine cable landing regions. So we have a pretty unique business model. We treat fiber, dark fiber, as real estate, and every 60 miles we have our own modular co-location building made of precast concrete and steel. It's modular, so it's made in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's shipped, and they're installed and deployed every 60 miles. And then in between the colo facilities, we have access to the fiber cable through what's called a handhole, which is basically a splice point. And in Florida, they're approximately every 5,000 feet apart, the handholds. And then north of Jacksonville, they'll be about every 3,000 feet. We use railroad rights of way, all of our cables buried. We buy our fiber from Corning. We've designed a very unique 528 count center core stack of ribbons. Again, we're in the real estate business. We're provisioning individual fiber pairs for any and all network operators. We don't view carriers, service providers, enterprises any differently. They're all network operators to us, and essentially we charge them rent for space and power in the amplification facilities every 60 miles because long-haul fiber needs to have light that's amplified and regenerated. But what's different about what we're doing, aside from all those things that I just mentioned, is the fact that our colo facilities, which are traditionally op-amp regen facilities, we treat them as carrier-neutral meet-me rooms, or network neutral, which is a very sort of popular term today with net neutrality. So if a network operator can physically build into our system, whether through a handhole or directly into a colo, or connect to us in one of the major carrier hotels, sort of at the endpoints, they're open to connect to anyone that they want, and they can do breakouts in our colo facilities and subrate out their core transport networks. So most of the network operators we're selling fiber to today are on a 20-year IRU basis, and they're lighting up, for the most part, 100 gig DWDM systems, multiple channels.
So when they're doing this, are they leasing the whole fiber, or do you lease some sub-channels as well?
No, we don't do anything lit. We're not a carrier. We have no carrier licenses. Okay. We are strictly in the real estate business. Okay. So we're just creating physical infrastructure to enable all network operators to have and enjoy the benefits of having their own dark fiber network that they light. And some of them will resell lit services at the subrate level, wavelengths, Ethernet, what have you, or just IP, Internet Protocol or transit, private IP. But others are actually procuring the dark fiber to light it themselves for their own internal needs. Yeah. So they're taking their traffic off of the public internet and away from other carriers that they otherwise would have to buy wavelengths or transport services from.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem for a lot of the rural areas where you have transit costs or costs to get to that last mile. Yeah. To the internet is really expensive. It seems like that's one of the problems you potentially help solve, right?
Yeah, that was a big part of the design that I came up with for Allied Fiber. So, to think of intermediate splice points, physical access, it's sort of like in a city, there's manholes. So on our route, there's handholds. And I view the United States and the major cities as sort of buildings in a city. And I view the handholds like manholes.